Hey guys, wanted to do something different today. One of the cards was recently spoiled for M15 called the Chain Veil, and once I saw it I was pretty amazed at what it was, and I liked it quite a bit. I am a fan of Planeswalkers, and anything that helps out Planeswalkers definitely makes me happy. The Chain Veil is a legendary artifact for 4. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't activate a loyalty ability of a Planeswalker this turn, you lose 2 life. But if you have to pay for and tap it, for each Planeswalker you control, you may activate one of its loyalty abilities once this turn, as though none of its loyalty abilities have been activated this turn. So basically, if you tap this artifact, you get to use your Planeswalker abilities twice in one turn. So I think that's pretty cool. So I just wanted to make this video to see which Planeswalkers would benefit the most from this. So let's go ahead and go through the list. These are just my opinions. Please comment below if you disagree or agree. But I hope this is just informative for you guys. First up, we have the C tier Planeswalkers. I'm not saying that any of these Planeswalkers are innately bad, but these are just Planeswalkers that will not really benefit too much from the Chain Veil. I believe that cards like Ajani, the 3 Ajanis, and Chandra Ablaze, and our good friend Tibalt really don't benefit from being able to activate twice. So these are really, in my opinion, considered C tier Planeswalkers for this, so we won't be talking too much about them. Next we have our B tier Planeswalkers. These Planeswalkers are pretty good on their own. I think if you activate their abilities twice in one turn, they're pretty good. Unfortunately, none of these Planeswalkers will really benefit too much. It's definitely cool. Planeswalkers like Ajani Goldmane, giving your creatures +2/+2 is really nice. Ashiok's ability is also really good. Chandra's ability to ping them once and then use her doubling ability is always good. So these Planeswalkers are, I would consider B tier, and not that great, but definitely you can do some fun stuff with them. Next up we have our A tier Planeswalkers. These are the Planeswalkers I believe that would benefit greatly from the doubling ability. First up we have Chandra Ablaze. I think using her -2 ability twice, especially in a burn deck, would be really nice. Just basically go ahead and cast all your instants and sorceries, use her -2. Basically draw 3 cards, cast it again, and then draw 3 cards again. I think that's really powerful, especially in your commander decks, and if you're happening to use her in a constructed deck, I mean, well, there you go. Next we have Elspeth's Sun Champion. I believe having 6 1/1 white soldier tokens are really great. Or if you can actually use her -3 ability is also good too. So I believe Elspeth, Sun's Champion, is definitely a good one that benefits great. Garruk, Caller of Beasts. If you use his +1 ability and then his in combination with his -3, that also works out very well. So you can get a expensive green fatty for free, and I think that's really good. Garruk Relentless. I was really wondering if I should have put this in the B tier or not. I think using his fight ability, his secondary ability, is twice in one turn is not that bad. It could help out green decks quite a bit, and it can get rid of some problem creatures that normally people wouldn't block with or attack with anyway. Of course, Garruk the Veil Curse, that's part of the other one, but putting 2 mono black wolf tokens with that touch is always good, but not super great. I think his -1 ability twice would be much better than the others. So again, he barely made the A list, but he can be pretty fun in certain cases. Next we have Gideon Jura. I think definitely using his +2 ability twice to beef him up is pretty good, but actually destroying 2 tapped creatures is actually really effective for Gideon, and he can use it twice and he'll still be alive for next turn's use as well. Jace's Architect of Thought. I put him in because using that small version of Fact or Fiction twice in a turn will definitely give you good card advantage if used correctly. Jace Beleren is always good. Drawing a card twice is definitely awesome, very good. Jace Beleren is always just a solid Planeswalker. I think he would be a good choice to use with the Chain Veil. Kiora, not super great, but I think having her, using her Explorer ability twice is always good for card advantage, and if you actually need the time, using her +1 is good. So she's not super great. She also was very close to B tier, but I just put her in just for fun. Koth of the Hammer is always great because of the mana, and using both his +1 and -2 on one turn is always fun too. You can ramp pretty quickly with him. Liliana of the Dark Realms, searching for 2 swamps to thin out your deck and get the swamps. I think that was the biggest thing that drew me in. Her -3, not that powerful, but I really just put her in for the fetching. Liliana the Veil is always good. Make him discard a card that would benefit you, and it is negative for them. Also, in addition to having them sacrifice a creature on the same turn, can really give you that massive card advantage. Liliana Vess is always good. Having her tutor and having them discard also is really good. Remember, do not use her -2 ability twice because you do shuffle your library afterwards, so there's no point in using it twice. But having her +1 and -2 in the same turn is really good. Nissa Revane, of course, she is really looked down upon by many people because of her limited abilities. But of course, in an elf deck, gaining life for each elf you control twice is always good. And if you happen to use the cards Nissa's chosen, then having 2 of them is always good, right? Nissa Worldwaker is one of the new Planeswalkers coming out for 2015. I really like her. The main thing for her is really, of course, as you can see, her second ability, untap up to 4, target forest. And I can see a lot of crazy combos coming with her. You can maybe use Curse Veil again, maybe if you have a Voltaic Key, you got the mana for it, and really start making some good combos with it. Tamiyo I put in because of her tapping ability. Also, because she comes in with 4, you can use her -2 ability twice. If your opponents happen to have a lot of tap creatures, then I can see a lot of card draw from that. And of course, our friend Tezzeret, Agent of Bolas, definitely making 2 5/5 artifact creatures just like that. That's pretty scary, and rifling through your deck to top 10 basically. For any kind of artifact will definitely help out quite a bit, so he's definitely a good one. And then Venser is always great because not only can you flicker one of your creatures or permanents, but you can also make your creatures unblockable all on the same turn. Venser is also one of my favorites, and I think he would benefit greatly from the Chain Veil. And last but not least, we have Xenagos, the Reveler. I really just put him in for his +1 ability. If you can use his 0 ability twice for the creatures, that's always good, but I feel like there is some type of combination that you can do with his +1 ability twice to get all that mana and really bring out a big creature early on. And now finally we have our S tier Planeswalkers. These are the Planeswalkers I believe will greatly benefit from the Chain Veil, mainly because of the quick impact that they will have on the battlefield. First off, we have Elspeth Tirel. I believe having her +2 ability when she comes in and then using the Chain Veil, you can immediately use her destroy all permanents except for lands and tokens ability, and that's just a quick board wipe and definitely put you at the advantage, especially when you have tokens and so forth. Garruk Wildspeaker was the one that I was most excited for. Basically, if you have the Chain Veil and you bring out Garruk, you get to use his untap ability, in addition his overrun ability as well on the same turn. That's really effective. It basically makes your deck very aggressive. I really like that a lot. And also, I believe in conjunction with Nykthos, the Shrine and so forth, and just any lands that produce a lot of mana, I feel again there's a lot of crazy combos with Garruk. Garruk Apex Predator is one of the new Planeswalkers coming out in 2015. He's just a crazy card. If you happen to get him out, he is 7 mana, but if you get him out, I believe you can do some crazy things with him. Putting out 2 3/3 beast creatures with Death Touch is scary. If your opponents happen to be playing with a lot of Planeswalkers, destroying them just like that is pretty crazy itself. And of course, he can destroy creatures and you gain life equal to the toughness as well. So definitely Garruk would be a lot of fun, especially if you have the mana to pay for him. Jace Memory Adept. I really think using his double mill ability twice in one turn, just to mill 20 cards in one turn, is pretty scary. Jace the Mind Sculptor, the Planeswalker that everybody loves to hate. Pretty much he is overpowered for a reason, and just to double his power just like that in one turn, I really have no words for that. Karn Liberated, another one of my favorite cards. To be able to exile 2 target permanents with no restrictions whatsoever is always great, and if you happen to want to do so, then you can also target their hand and exile 2 cards from their hand as well, and you can bring them up to 14 just like that. Very scary. Nicol Bolas, if you happen to get him out, he is 8 mana. But basically, if you get him out, he's already a win more card. And so if you have him in addition with the Chain Veil, which is a very scary thought in story-wise, you're basically going to win the game. Put Ral Zarek in because his +1 ability to untap, I believe there's another combo out there somewhere with his untap ability, and then you can tap something else or whatnot, and you can basically use a lot of mana and use the Chain Veil over and over and over again. That was a point that somebody brought up, basically whether or not you will be able to use the Chain Veil ability twice or more than 2 times if you're able to untap it and you have the mana to do so. So far everybody, including judges, have been saying just wait for the fact to come out, and we'll be able to find the answer. In my opinion, I believe that if you are able to untap the Chain Veil and use it again, I do believe that you can use the Planeswalkers again, but I'm not a level 1 judge, so that's just my thoughts. Sarkhan the Mad, which is pretty funny because he is not really well liked as a Planeswalker, but I do believe that there is something really good with Sarkhan. To be able to use his ability, his Dark Confidant ability twice, is actually pretty good. I think that will give you guys very good card advantage, and you never know, you might be able to use his -2 ability as well. Sarkhan Vol is very scary. To basically act of treason 2 of your opponent's creatures just like that can really turn the game around, and if you actually have the creature advantage, then to give them +1/+1 and haste, and then double it, that is pretty scary. Sorin Markov uses -3 ability, make their life total 10, and then uses +2 ability to bring down even more, and then give you some life in the process. I think that's really good. And then Tezzeret, the first Tezzeret, of course, his +1 ability to untap 2 artifacts. If you have a mana rock that can produce a lot of mana, and then you're able to untap the Veil as well, then again, if the ruling works toward our favor, then I can see a lot of infinite combos that way. And that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed my review. I'm really excited for 2015, so please comment below, tell me what you guys think, if you disagree or agree with any of what I said. If you have any requests, let me know. Please subscribe. Thank you for watching.